Paul forgot to tell me he's traveling, and I'm a little hurt.
It's become so normal, I just don't even think about it. No, actually, I was so distracted. Like, Brad called me, and I was like sitting here with my glasses still on and my dinosaur head, and I'm like, oh, right, it's that day with N's and Y that we do the show.
9 o'clock rolls around.
You know, I'll just say, I've said this to Brad privately, I'll just say this publicly. You know, as a writer, honestly, it's kind of nice when you can get lost in what you're doing, right? I mean, it's kind of a good sign.
Yeah.
Which sounds better than I am a lazy idiot that doesn't remember something he does every single day. So there are different takes, you know? I'll just say, I prefer the version that makes me not look like an idiot.
It can be an and. It doesn't have to be an or in this scenario.
It's a little hectic on travel day, you know, so I'm trying to get some stuff done before we leave. You know, for reasons that don't need to be explained. I'm going to miss the heat, though.
Wow.
How does a high of 74 every day sound? Because that's where I'm going.
Well, actually, right now it's a high of 75 outside, but I believe, and I might be rounding down, it's about 7 trillion% humidity outside.
Yes. Yep. The temperature here is 82, if Google can be believed, but it's going to be 92, I think, today.
That's how it was yesterday. I thought my grass needs to be cut, and I go outside like, not today. No, I don't feel like stroking out today.
Right. Right. What's that piece of bacon out there on the yellow? Oh, that's Brad.
I mean, which is factual because I would be red, and I would not be brown or tan or anything else.
Sure.
Here we are. There's some new pictures floating around. I didn't get a chance to whatever. I was going to try to get them wired up to share here of the Elite Series 2, but in white. So just imagine your favorite
It looks
controller.
terrible. Well, I mean, imagine something that looks terrible.
It looks
so
like it's Panda themed.
Right. So if you're familiar with the Elite controller, you know that there's a body, obviously, but there's the grips and the other pieces that kind of can be replaced. And those things are not white. They're just black. So it looks like what would a white one of these look like? And then they looked and they were like, no, we're never doing this. No one would want this. This is terrible looking. Like, that's what it looks like to me. But I guess
like
this is a big
Panda themed
rumor that this was coming and never happened or something.
I don't know. It's interesting because a while ago, like in March, there was a box. It looked like on a retail shelf, like an Elite white one.
That's right. Yep.
And then never showed up. And then now there's this one, like somebody very clearly looks like they purchased this or they lifted it off the back of a truck. I don't know.
Sure.
And unboxed it. So it's like it's all done. I would be shocked if this thing isn't actually coming to market.
How old is this controller now? Like, was it a year or two? It might be 2 years, right?
I think it might be closer to 3.
Really? Okay. So this is like the second gen Elite controller.
Don't let me down, Bing. Don't let me down, Bing.
Well, the answer to your question is in the sentence. You're using Bing.
November.
Bing is
released on November 3rd, but it doesn't tell me what year.
Because Bing is useless. The answer is correct. It's not the answer you want. Bing.
2019. So yeah, 3 years ago in November.
3 years. Wow. Okay. It's time for a new one.
But is it?
Isn't it?
I mean, the only thing it's missing is the share button from there.
Well, that's missing. I mean, how long has the Xbox Series X and S been out? 2 years now? Coming up on 2? Well, there should have been a new one for that. That's stupid.
They have one. It's white-ish.
Well, it looks terrible. That's all I'm saying.
It's white. I don't know. It's the same controller. Which, by the way, I do need a new thumbstick because I should go grab it. But my left thumbstick is fine. My right thumbstick is a piece of electrical tape because the entire rubber ring has now completely fallen off.
I abuse. You know what? I have a feeling. This is something. I'm surprised you haven't looked into this. I abuse my Xbox controller so badly they stop working in some way. The latest one I'm using, I'll just try to imitate what it looks like, is, you got your gun in Call of Duty, and if you don't move, it goes like this.
Oh, stick drift. Yep.
And it's so it adds a level of difficulty to the game. You're constantly adjusting the view to. So
I don't know, Paul throughout. That sounds like a headshot cheat.
Oh. Okay.
Naturally going right up for
did I mention this? I ordered a new one. Did I tell you this story?
Yeah.
So I ordered just a basic black Xbox controller, right? Now, this was July when I did this. Late July. And the first date that this was going to arrive was September 18th, I think.
Fantastic.
And I was like, oh boy, okay, so that's not good. But then they kept changing it, so it went to like some date late in August at some point, and then just yesterday, I got a thing. It's coming today. It won't come. I won't see it because I'll be gone. But it actually is arriving today. So that only took, I don't know, 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Anyhow, the point of this, I'm sorry, the thing I wanted to say, and this is something you should look into, especially if you're talking about this Elite controller, although you would have had it for 3 years, so this is probably does not apply. But I bet this controller that I have, which is probably less than a year old, is under some kind of a warranty.
Probably.
And I could probably go to Microsoft and say, you need to send me a new one of these things or fix it, and I bet they would.
They probably would.
But instead, what I did was I spent $60 and I waited, and every day
they get you.
that thing because I'm an idiot, But anyway, it's something that could and should be done.
I did look on Amazon, which I should do this. You actually can buy replacement thumbsticks for the Elite. They're like third party or whatever. And I don't necessarily fault the Elite for this. Maybe I should because it's an expensive controller. Maybe I really shouldn't give them a buyout. But I mean, I use this thing a lot. And
doesn't it have multiple?
It does, but they're different sizes. So like the other ones are taller.
Yep.
And I can't do that. Like it's got to be.
And having two of different would probably be kind of weird too.
What is this? A PlayStation controller? No, they got to be like the right spots. Can't do verticality. Nope. So, anyways, look for a white one. I'm guessing that's what's coming this fall. Would be my guess.
It looks terrible. Don't look for it. Just maybe this is part of a Gen 3 that will have that share button and the circle will now be complete. It only took them 2 years. That's fine.
I doubt it. I don't think this one has the share button. I mean,
then
they could
what
remap
is the freaking point? How is this Elite if it doesn't have all of the features of the basic controller?
In theory, they could remap that center button to be a share button because that's all it does is allow you to change controller profiles quickly, which I've never used.
Yeah.
So if they just did that via software, then it would have everything because they already updated it with the.
Or I'm just throwing this one out there. I mean, just add the button. I mean, too obvious.
Yeah. Oh. You know what I really want on the Xbox, and this annoys the hell out of me, and they can fix this. The Xbox dashboard is not HDR or Dolby Vision or whatever. So when you're loading the dashboard, it's like, fine, whatever, loads up great. Then you click a game, like the whole screen goes black. Then the TV goes Dolby Vision or HDR or whatever.
Well, so this is screen dependent. On my screen, I don't actually get that, but I do get a little flash in the corner that says I think it says HDR or something. But
oh no, my whole screen on my LG just goes black. And then
okay, so that's screen dependent, right? So that's something your screen does. That's annoying though, regardless,
really
right?
Annoying.
So, okay, interesting. And you're saying, in other words, so if everything was just HDR / Dolby Vision, that would not happen.
Correct, because it's not in the Dolby Vision mode, or I think it's HDR. I think is what it is. It's not in the dashboard is not HDR.
I mean, this thing used to be like low res too, didn't it? It used to max out at like full HD or something.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, and I think they fixed that part of it. So I think you can get it in 4K now. I mean, God forbid it's like a static image. Yeah. The most powerful console in the world struggles. Anyway, well, we'll get there, Brett. As we see with the share button on the Elite controller, these things take time.
They do. Yeah, you don't want to rush it. You don't want to.
It's all right. It's the Apple approach. We'll get it right. When we get it right, you'll see it.
Yeah, right. We'll get it. Yeah. Either way, Apple's bringing a new HomePod Mini if that's your jam, or Maximum. Whatever. These things don't excite me really in any meaningful way.
No, that's because you've seen Sonos.
Yeah. Well, I like to support Sonos because it's not Apple, it's not Google, it's a third-party
company. It works with everything,
Yeah.
Yes, you want to go down those one-way dead-end streets as little as possible. And look, I'm sure they've done incredible things with the HomePod and immersive sound and all that stuff, auto room recognition and blah, 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 whatever. I'm sure it's great. Can I use it with my Android phone? No, okay. Then. It's just no.
But Paul, we just talked about rushing it.
I don't think that's on the list. I don't think that's coming. Although I guess if you have Apple Music on Android, you probably. Although Apple, I don't actually know that. I don't know. Who cares? I'm not going to buy one either. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure they're great. If that's,
I'm sure they're great is the best summary ever of an Apple product. I'm sure it's great. Yeah.
Just like that remote in the Apple TV, not the new one, the one that they ship for years. That's shoved in every crevice of every couch.
Yeah, but
on
you
the
know what?
planet.
Even the new one has that problem, right? It has less of the problem, depending on the tightness of your cushions or whatever, which sounded vaguely off-putting there. But anyway, but yeah, it's still a shiny silver, lozenge-shaped thing that could very easily fall, depending on your couch. My couch is like a $60 yard sale find. So, yeah, there's probably a cat in there somewhere. I mean, the remote has no problem falling between the cushions.
Oh. Anyways, you're off to the southern
Yeah, so
compound.
we're flying today in the afternoon, but we have to leave at 11 when you do the backward math and all the time requirements. So, yeah, I'll be out for today, but it should be normal from then on. I mean, I should be.
He says confidently.
Yeah, well, I said should. I mean, I I'm me still, so you could still go, get to the apartment, like the internet's gone. I don't know what's going on, but my plan is to do this show and everything else normally. So I'll see you tomorrow, probably.
I think the most honest thing you've ever said on this podcast is "I'm me."
Well, you got to be true to yourself.